Yo, we in it for a quick one. You guys see this fucking Black Myth Wukong shit because Astrobot won Game of the Year? Like, you guys see that shit, right? Now, I stayed away from the Black Myth Wukong community because it looked like this game was being propagated as the next anti-woke masterpiece, somewhat similar to Stellar Blade and how people were pushing that, but then they pushed back on the game because of alleged and proposed censorship. So that community was already a toxic crockpot to begin with. But you see this shit with Black Myth Wukong? Look at these opinions. Let's see if we can pull this one up. Look at this. It's abundantly clear Astrobot was picked for political reasons. What? What the fuck? Like, what is political about Astrobot? You're just playing as a little fucking robot on a little fucking spaceship running around with little fucking minions, and you're having like a couple of people that are from handpicked franchises. Like, we knew what Astrobot was about ever since Astro's Playroom. Like, some of the same interpretations there. They just made like a bigger platforming game. So this is ludicrous nonsense bullshit, in my opinion, that's being said by this guy. Name something political in Astrobot. What the fuck are you talking about? Right? Let's keep going. Let's keep it going. I see some more stuff. I bookmarked like a lot of things here. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. The real reason Astrobot won, people think it's a paid off PS5 exclusive, right? Okay, what about what happened when fucking Elden Ring won over God of War Ragnarok in 2022? Was that paid off? Like, where was the money then? What the fuck are you talking about? Where was the money then? If this is the real reason why Astrobot won, it's a PS5 exclusive, it's paid off by committee. Why didn't God of War Ragnarok win Game of the Year? Right? It doesn't make any sense. You're illogical. You make no sense whatsoever. Let's keep it going. So there's people that are saying that Astrobot is not on Steam. There are pathetic Wukong fans that are review bombing Baldur's Gate 3 instead. What the fuck? Okay. I'm sorry for that car out there, by the way. That's just me living in a suburban environment. But what the fuck? Alright. Like, why are we review bombing another entire game since Astrobot is not on Steam? A game that doesn't deserve it. A game that was already nominated for Game of the Year beforehand. It doesn't make any sense, right? It's like, at least talk on a forum about Astrobot if you hate it that much because it won Game of the Year. You guys seem to be the most saltiest people I think I ever seen in my lifetime, okay? It's like, this is funny, alright? This is truly funny, and people are flipping out, and people are losing their mind. That's the original post of Shroud saying that, oh, if Wukong doesn't win Game of the Year, then it's rigged, and then he doubled down on that. It's like, oh, rigged. The game I want to win didn't win the Game of the Year awards. And so what? So the fuck what? Like, a game can still be successful. A game can still be critically acclaimed, even if it doesn't win Game of the Year. Like, your personal Game of the Year still is relevant. It still matters to you. Who cares what the Oscars think? Who cares what the fucking Game Awards think? No matter if it's a movie or a video game, what is your personal Game of the Year or movie of the year? It applies to you. Just because a committee says something doesn't take away your enjoyment. So you saying rigged just makes you seem salty. Let's continue on. Wukong fans after Astrobot won Game of the Year. What is this video right here? Let me play it. Let me put on my audio real quick. There we go.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn!
Okay.
Fuck! Fuck!
Fuck! What the fuck, y'all? Oh my god, man. This is killing the shit out of me. Okay. Oh, first you're review bombing the wrong game. There's people like so goddamn mad, like Shroud over here. I wanted to talk about the preceding quote tweet here, where this guy like roast Shroud, and Shroud like doubled down and said, "Oh, the Game Awards is rigged," after Black Myth Wukong did not win Game of the Year. He said, "The game I liked didn't win Game of the Year. Well, I guess it's rigged then. You guys are so insufferable, it's embarrassing. Astrobot deserved to be up there as much as Black Myth Wukong, and all of a sudden, my game didn't win. Astrobot bad. Grow up." So yeah, there will be those preceding comments where people will say, the game that won is absolutely trash. It did not deserve it. I understand having a sort of preface to what should win Game of the Year, but again, your own personal opinion as to what should win doesn't really mean that what you said and what you think is invalidated just because something else won officially. Like, you can like Silent Hill 2 Remake. That probably will be my Game of the Year. It didn't win shit, alright? It didn't win a goddamn thing at the Game Awards. It didn't even get barely recognized, if at all, at Geoff Keighley's show. And that's probably going to be my Game of the Year because I enjoyed it that much, and nobody could take that away from me. But then you have Shroud, the petty bitch, saying that it's rigged because my game didn't win. No, you're just frustrated and salty, right? Your game didn't win, but it got like almost billions of dollars from the Chinese, so it's like guaranteed to get a sequel. Just be happy, man. Don't worry. Be happy. Be happy that it got something. Like, your shit could have flopped financially and it wouldn't have got a sequel, or it's not pining to get one due to all that money or something like that. It could have been barely recognized at all in some capacity to move forward, and you would have been a lot more pissed about that. So be happy that at least people do recognize that the game sold well and it got like a 80 something on Meta. Here we are. Let's see. Apparently, I think they were talking about the Black Myth Wukong devs crying. I mean, I can see a dev team kind of getting a little bit emotional that they didn't win. Is it, something where you probably need to get a grip and say, hey, man, sometimes life gives you lemons. I could totally see that. Alana Pierce is like going into detail about this because people are kind of debunking that the Wukong devs weren't upset. And I guess I'll let this play for a little bit. So let's see, maximize. There we go.
And I was in the front row this year. It was my first time being in the front row. I was like, wow, thanks, Jeff. Great seats. But being in the front row means that you can see all of the actually important people. So like next to me was the whole Sony team. Frankly, that's probably why they put me there, was because when they gave me the seat, I was with Sony. So I was with the Sony publishing team. Behind me was Joseph Faris. Just behind him was Sam Lake, both of whom I know and am very fond of. They're both really great dudes. But I could see all of the nominees and awards winners, and the Black Myth Wukong team, I don't know which person on the team, was crying when Astrobot got Game of the Year. Because you could see him just looking down the line, which is the first time I've ever seen anything like that, because generally everyone is like, Game Awards doesn't matter that much. But yeah, the Wukong team were crying when they did not win, which was definitely unusual. Clearly meant a lot to them. They did an amazing thing. But I did find that surprising. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, that's kind of just like, I'm of two minds, where it's like, I understand them being so passionate, and it's like, I really wanted to win this, and I just didn't. But I'm of another mindset where it's like, man, you've made a game that definitely resonated to some people, whether rational or utterly batshit insane. Let's be honest. Like, some of these Twitter posts and Twitter replies are completely fucking insane by some people. But you made something that's resonated. You should just be happy and take the L and make a better game as a better experience that could be like just something that gravitates what Black Myth was. Like you could do that instead, as opposed to being like just, oh, I'm gonna cry. Like, congratulate the team, or show sportsmanship. That's what you're supposed to do, to be humble. You humble yourself and you become better. There's this dude just completely, like, I don't know if I covered him yet, but I do find it funny that this motherfucker completely like blocked Geoff Keighley and the Game Awards, and he says, Geoff is a Sony shield. What a shame to give Game of the Year to literally a PlayStation advertisement. You are having a mental breakdown in real time fucking 4K, my guy. And you're gonna be watching next year. Fuck all this little heinous shit that you're trying to say. Oh, I'm not gonna watch your show again. We'll see you next year, bitch. Let's keep going. Okay, yeah, blood, sweat, and tears report in the Wukong just for it to lose to a random kids game. That kids game has like a 80. No, not, I'm thinking a Wukong score. What the fuck? So Wukong has the lower score. It has the 83 or 84, and I think Astrobot has like a 90, 93, 94. Sorry for getting that mixed up. Yeah, someone helped my ass out. Thank you for helping my ass out. It got like a 94 compared to an 81, so I was counting Wukong up a little bit. My apologies, but still, yeah, the critics who are on the panel who gave reviews to that would deem the better game as the 9 over the 8. We talked about this before, where 8s going against 9s usually does not fare well. If a game gets a 10 or something like that, oh, it's over. It's over. Like, that game is in the fucking driver's seat for a Game of the Year contender, a game nominee for Game of the Year. It's just happening, all right? It's fucking... That's what happens. The higher score wins, usually, to GL show. So I'm surprised that people are so upset about this, because it's been common law for a while now. This guy really mad. Fuck the Game Awards. Oh man. This guy claims that the Black Myth Wukong producer was so delusional he wrote an acceptance speech for Game of the Year 2 whole years in advance. What a fucking schizo. I don't know what is the validity of this story. I have no idea what validation or validity this story has. But I mean, Alana Pierce did see the team crying, so I don't know if you could put 2 or 2 together, but they clearly were very passionate about losing, and they wanted to win. And it's just like, you gotta suck it up and move on. Black Myth Wukong not winning Game of the Year just goes to show how fucking stupid the jury is. Seriously? Jesus. The people's game won. That's how it works. Just like Elden Ring winning in 2022. I thought God of War Ragnarok truly deserved it. Me too, but that's how it went. We gotta move on. We all know Black Myth should have won, and we all know this. That's what should be a reminder to them, that they won the People's Choice. The People's Choice don't mean shit. To the Game Awards, no, it does not mean shit. Like, people all voted for Ghost of Tsushima for People's Choice, and it went to Last of Us Part 2, so, in the vein of the Game Awards, People's Choice doesn't mean anything. It's a passing award to the biggest takeaway of the year, which is Game of the Year. But seeing so many folks just completely pissed about this is so fun. Saying it's a Sony show, they've been bought out, all this other. You guys are schizophrenics. Like, I don't. Sure, Sony was bought, even though they lost in 2021. What was 2021 up to now? I don't even, what did Sony release in 2021? I fucking forget, but they definitely lost with God of War Ragnarok for sure. Let's see. Horizon always like took L's in terms of like Game of the Years. Uncharted lost to Overwatch, for fuck's sake. Uncharted 4 losing to Overwatch. So this guy's just doubling down on the idea. Like, how many times will people say this false narrative that Sony is paying and rigging awards when Horizon's not winning anything. Uncharted 4 lost to Overwatch, and God of War Ragnarok lost to Elden Ring. Make it make fucking sense to me. Like, that is illogical as fuck, okay? But that is my little criticism sucks done. I wanted to cover this mini tirade that people were on about Black Myth. Just get over it. Move on already. Life moves on. Games move on. We get better games. We get newer games. We get sequels. Better luck next time.